Imagine how you would feel if you were the only white man in one of the toughest prisons in Southeast Asia, left to survive on your own against the impossible odds. Billy Moore is a troubled British young man living in Thailand. Billy is a boxer. He has no family and lives in the foreign country by himself. During the day, he spends his time in one of the local boxing arenas, participating in gruesome Thai box fights. A boy helps him to prepare before he goes into the ring by waxing him and wrapping bandages over his hands. In one of the fights, Billy is knocked out, so the judge rules that he has lost the fight. Enraged by the ruling, Billy starts striking everyone in the ring and is forcefully taken away by a group of Thai men. Billy struggles with substance abuse. He is addicted to a substance called yaba. During the night, he spends his time in nightclubs buying and selling the product. One morning, Billy is awakened by the yelling and knocking on his door. He figures it's the police, so he rushes to get rid of the incriminating evidence. He hides a bag of yaba in his underpants. The police knock down the door, aiming their guns at Billy. He tries to fight them, but they quickly overpower him and carry him into a truck. Billy is arrested and put in jail. He manages to flush down the bag with yaba he hid earlier, but the police still charge him with the possession of illegal firearms. Shortly after the conviction, Billy is put on a prison bus that delivers him to the infamous Klong Prem prison, where he will serve his sentence. The guards force the new arrivals to take their clothes off and visually inspect them to prevent the spread of diseases and to avoid concealed weapons getting inside the prison. They take a special interest in Billy, the white foreigner. Afterwards, Billy has his mugshot taken. As is usual in prison, they cut Billy's hair and shave his beard. The prisoners are then escorted through the yard into the overcrowded cells. Billy is about to experience the harsh realities of Thai prison life. The inmates make fun of Billy's appearance. One of the cellmates, a person named Tiffany, catches his attention, so he stops near her and lies down, exhausted from the experience. She informs him that she has an addiction problem as well. Billy and his inmates are informed that if anyone is found gambling, smoking, or getting tattoos, they will be punished severely. The conditions of the prison are insufferable. In the cell, inmates sleep right on the ground, tightly packed near each other. Getting water is no easy task. The prisoners literally have to fight each other to get to the pond with water, and collect some in a plastic bottle while others try to push them away. Billy gets into a fight with one of the prisoners after he refuses to give him his water and is consequently detained by guards for participating in the fight. As punishment, he is put into solitary, which is a metal cage that is so tiny he can barely move in there. What's worse, the solitary cell is made of metal, so the tropical sun during the day turns it into an oven. Sometime later, Billy is put into a different cell and is introduced to a group of highly tattooed inmates, well regarded in the prison hierarchy. A leader of the group, Kang, takes an interest in Billy, talking to him in broken English and asking him questions about how he got in prison while the rest watch. Fascinated by the unusual inmate, they start touching him, so he resists and tries to get away, but he can't. Billy tells Kang that he has no family and no money, lives in Thailand by himself, and he's a boxer. He got in prison because of yaba. Kang and his group make fun of him, implying he's a homosexual. They force him to do 20 push-ups. He tries to resist, but reluctantly complies. They keep touching him and make fun of him as he does the push-ups. When he finishes, he stands up. Kang's men keep bullying him. He manages to break away and leaves to sit in a corner. Billy observes the conflict that arises when a new prisoner doesn't pay the proper respect to Kang's group. Kang interferes and stops the fight rather quickly. During the night, Billy is attacked by Kang's men. They attempt to force Billy to have intimate relations with them. When he resists, they beat him up and force him to watch at knife point as they violate another inmate instead. Billy watches in terror, further intimidated by the man with a knife. He threatens Billy to keep his mouth shut about the incident. Shocked by what just happened, Billy lies down and tries to calm himself as he uncontrollably shakes and weeps. The next morning, authorities find out that the man who was violated by the group ended his life. Kang's right hand watches Billy closely to make sure that he keeps his silence. Sometime later, Billy tries to get some medicine from a correction officer. The medication is supposed to be free. Billy saw him give it away to other prisoners, but the officer refuses to give Billy the medication unless he pays for it. Enraged by the guard's smug attitude, Billy starts attacking the guards as they try to tackle him. He bites the neck of one of the guards and yells at the rest in the most deranged way. However, they do manage to put him down to the ground and beat him up brutally. After the incident, Billy is forced by the guards to walk in chains when he is outside the cell. The days go by as Billy adjusts to life in prison. One day, he and his inmates watch the group of women inmates approaching their block. Billy starts a conversation with the inmate woman, Fame, who works in a booth selling cigarettes. Claiming he has no family and no money, he asks her to give him some cigarettes, promising he will pay her later. She reluctantly agrees to give him a block of cigarettes. Billy is being nice to her, and they become friends. Billy trades the block of cigarettes for yaba that Kang's group is willing to provide him with. High on the substance, he observes Kang's group as they shave a man's head, making the elaborate prison tattoos on his head visible to everyone. Kang's men take the blades from the fan, presumably to use it later. Later that night, Billy is awakened by the yelling and loud noises of the alarm and guards knocking on bars. The correction officers conduct an unannounced inspection of the cells. Kang, being the cell boss, is asked by them why the blades of the fan are missing. He claims he doesn't know. Billy and his cellmates are ordered by guards to vacate the cells and head to the yard. In the yard, Billy sees the reason for the unusual inspection. The bodies of 3 guards were found in the yard. All prisoners are then meticulously searched by the guards. At first, they don't find anything on Billy, but then they bring the dog that immediately points to Billy's shirt. The guard rips the shirt and finds yaba carefully hidden inside. Billy is in big trouble. Kang's right hand advises him to confess, but Billy keeps claiming it's not his. Being a perceptive man, the head of security realizes that the forbidden substance was undoubtedly given to Billy by a member of Kang's outfit. To show them his resolve, he orders the guards to take away the Kang's man who tried to interfere and make an example out of him. They take him to the microphone and start beating him brutally, while the rest of the inmates listen to the terrifying sounds of the punishment that are being broadcast through the loudspeaker. Kang listens in humiliation as one of his key men moans and begs for mercy. The next morning, Billy stands in line in the cafeteria. He observes the conflict between the correction officers and the Muslim cooks serving in the cafeteria. Curious about what that was about, he tries to approach the guard involved in the fight, but is reprimanded by another guard for suspicious behavior. This guard consequently uses Billy's addiction to manipulate him. He gives Billy a bag with yaba. Billy has a conflict with other inmates who try to steal the substance from him. Having no way to pay the guard back, Billy is forced to run errands for him. He orders Billy to beat up the Muslim cooks that he had a conflict with earlier. He hesitates at first, but does it anyway. The guard watches Billy as he viciously beats up the cooks. He is later annoyed that Billy did too much damage, almost resulting in the loss of life. Billy's mental health is deteriorating rapidly. Between the painful addiction he doesn't have any hope to defeat, and the alienating atmosphere of being the only white man in a Thai prison, surrounded by men that actively dislike him and try to harm him all the time, he is becoming desperate. Billy tries to end his own life. A fellow inmate finds him in his half-awake state and rushes to call the authorities, saving Billy's life barely in time. A boy that helped Billy earlier during his fights in the boxing arena comes to visit him in prison. He says he's happy to see Billy. Billy just stares at him with a sad, exhausted look on his face. The boy brags that he had a fight in the boxing arena and won. Billy starts crying. The boy is saddened by seeing his suffering. He bids farewell to Billy and leaves. Billy wants to change his life. He thinks that the best way to do that is to stick to what he does best, boxing. He trains hoping to get into boxing again. One day, Billy observes a fight between the members of Kang's group. Kang, as usual, is annoyed with the constant bickering between his men. He delivers a passionate speech about the brotherhood they share as men in prison and cautions them to maintain discipline within the group. The men seem to relate to these words of wisdom. Pursuing his dream of boxing again, Billy walks inside the prison's boxing arena, but the trainer won't let him inside to try out, despite Billy's enthusiastic attempts to persuade him. Billy visits Fame and apologizes to her for not paying her for the block of cigarettes she let him take earlier. Nevertheless, he asks her to give him more cigarettes as he desperately needs them to make the trainer of the boxing arena at least let him try. He swears that he will pay her back this time. She reluctantly gives him a block of cigarettes. Billy gives the trainer cigarettes, so he allows Billy to join the boxing team. Billy puts on boxing gloves and shadow boxes for some time while the trainer watches him. Impressed by Billy's abilities, he calls him in the ring and finds him an opponent in order to test if Billy has what it takes to be a success. Being slightly out of shape after he neglected his health for many months, Billy struggles against the opponent at first, but still fights back viciously. At the cell meeting, Kang jokingly asks Billy about the fight. Despite the mockery, he and his group seem to develop a respect for Billy, now that he is a fighter again. Billy, observed by his fellow boxers, uses his inner rage in his intense training. He yells and screams as he punches, attracting the attention of a small crowd that watches him in confusion. Billy observes Kang's group as they start a fish fight, gambling with cigarettes. He joins them and bets a few cigarettes on one of the fishes. Group members passionately root for different fishes. Finally, one of the fish is defeated, and the room is filled with laughter from the winners. Billy won too, but the man who took his wager refuses to give him the cigarettes he won. The man breaks a bottle and threatens to cut Billy if he doesn't back off. Kang interferes and orders his subordinate to give Billy his winnings. Billy is grateful for his help. Billy takes the cigarettes he won and brings them to Fame, repaying the debt he owed her. He admits to her that he actually does have a family, a father and brothers, but they don't know that he's in prison. Fame is in prison because she took the life of her own father. He was beating her, so she felt she had no choice. Billy comforts her when she cries, reminiscing about her painful past. Joined by their pain, Billy and Fame develop a certain connection and get romantically involved. In the boxing arena, Billy improves his skills in the intense training sessions with his sparring partner. He quickly adapts to the style of Muay Thai, a Thai martial art. The trainer advises him to put more thought into the way he attacks an opponent. Kicking with his leg is a skill that Billy needs to improve, as it is a big part of Muay Thai. The trainer shows Billy how to make his hand go faster. Another sparring partner tries to tackle Billy. They go back and forth, squeezing and strangling each other until Billy ends up on the ground. Billy gets ready for his first official fight. The trainer weighs him and calls his opponent. The opponent stares into Billy's eyes, trying to intimidate him and diminish his resolve, but Billy remains calm and confident. The opponent pushes Billy, so he jumps, getting ready to fight right there on the spot. The spectators take them away from each other. In the fight, Fame serves as the ring girl, announcing the rounds. By the fourth round, Billy seems to be exhausted. Nevertheless, he fights passionately, combining his punches with kicks, forcing the opponent to the ground. The opponent gets up, and they continue. They go back and forth until Billy throws the opponent down again. In the end, Billy manages to corner him and knock him down for good. Billy is the winner. As the crowd celebrates his victory, Billy approaches the prison warden Preacha and bows to him in a traditional show of respect. After the fight, Billy takes a bath, enjoying the fun he has with other inmates. He also takes part in the traditional Buddhist prayer. Impressed by Billy's performance earlier, the warden transfers him to the boxing team cell, where he will have the privileges he was denied before. The warden asks Billy to represent the prison at the National Muay Thai tournament that will take place in another prison. Billy enthusiastically agrees. He will be the first foreigner to ever take part in such an event. Needless to say, it's a big honor. The warden gives Billy a letter from his father. He thanks the warden for his kindness and leaves. The guards arrive at King's cell to take Billy away to the boxing team's cell. One of King's men, with whom Billy had a close friendship, bids him farewell. Billy leaves as King and his men watch in respect and admiration. In his new cell, Billy relaxes and reads the letter from his father. Days go by as Billy trains hard for the upcoming tournament. The other boxers are happy to help him with his training. They become close friends with Billy. One of the boxers, his opponent from earlier, admits to Billy that when he was arrested he pleaded guilty, advised by his girlfriend, hoping to be out soon. But they gave him 5 years. So in prison he went wild, turning the 5 years into a life sentence. The boxing team saved his life, gave him a purpose in life, something to live for. Showing their respect for Billy, the boxers put a respectable prison tattoo on his back. A bunch of them surround Billy and start cutting the tattoo with a special needle and applying the paint. The process is painful, so Billy visibly gasps in pain, but continues nonetheless. When the tattoo is done, the boxer recites the ceremonial prayer of inducting a new member into their group as Billy holds his hands in prayer. Billy watches his fellow boxers as they work on their kicks, instructed by the trainer. It's Billy's turn, but he still doesn't do as nearly as good a kick as he should if he is to win a tournament. The trainer explains to Billy that in order to do a proper kick, he must turn his upper body as he moves his leg. He tries it and does much better this time. The boxers praise him for the progress he's making. When he's not training, Billy visits Fame and they kiss. In his cell, Billy dispassionately observes the boxers bickering with each other, similar to how King's group members did before. One day, Billy is shocked to find Fame with another man. He gets very angry and threatens the man, trying to get into the cage with him and fight him. Billy feels betrayed and ashamed. He is full of rage. He starts buying yaba again from King's men. His rage gets him into trouble when in one of the sparring matches, he loses control and starts brutally beating up a fellow boxer on the ground. Seeing this, prison guards take Billy away. He is put into a solitary cell where he gets his frustration out on the walls and plastic water bottles. He does push-ups and looks at the image of the devil on the wall. Day after day in the solitary, Billy spends his time exercising. When guards release Billy and bring him back into the boxer cell, he is immediately attacked by the boxer that he beat up earlier. The other boxers take them away from each other. Billy tries to apologize for his behavior. Enraged at first, the boxer reluctantly accepts his apology. Billy continues his training. He is working on his kick, does push-ups, the usual routine. One night, Fame and 2 other women go into the boxer cell to perform for the prisoners. Billy is enthusiastic about seeing his love again. Fame announces in English that she is going to sing a song about a woman who is ready to wait forever for the man she loves. A reference to Billy, obviously. Fame sings a song in the Thai language, getting emotional while looking at Billy. He looks back at her with a sad expression on his face and enjoys the bittersweet song about their love. When the song ends, the boxers react with standing ovations while Billy shies away. During the training, the trainer instructs Billy on how to make a quick spinning back elbow hit. While his main hand is blocking the opponent, his technique improves. Billy owes King's group the money for all the yaba they lent him for free. He tries to persuade them that the money is coming because he has a huge fight in the future. They surround him and tackle him to the ground. While others hold him, one of the group members threatens him with a needle. King makes it perfectly clear to Billy that if he loses the tournament, he loses his life. Billy is pretty shaken by the experience. He gets sick during the training, so the trainer has to interfere and stop the sparring. Billy rushes to the toilet and throws up. He is later informed by the doctor that his substance abuse and massive injuries from boxing led to a rupture inside his organism. If he receives any more injuries, he risks serious consequences. Despite his weakened state, Billy intends to participate in the tournament and win. He continues his training, getting ready for the challenges ahead. Billy and other boxers are put into a truck that will deliver them to the tournament. He enjoys the tropical scenery of rural Thailand through the window of the truck. Arriving at the prison, Billy slowly walks to the preparation room, looking over the boxing arena as he walks. The arena boys wrap bandages over his hands, and Billy has some final preparations with his trainer. They put him in a cell for some time, where Billy cries from the grueling pain of destroying his own body. The time of the fight is near, so Billy slowly walks downstairs for the upcoming fight. As he walks, he listens to the ominous ringing of the boxing bell. Local prisoners stand outside their cells, closely watching Billy as he approaches the arena. At the arena, Billy is met with standing ovations. He bows to the guards as tradition dictates and proceeds inside the ring. In the ring, Billy and his opponent perform the pre-fight ritual dance known as the Waikru Ram Muay. This curious rope thing over the fighter's forehead is called a Mong Kon. It's a traditional headband worn by Muay Thai fighters during the pre-fight ritual dance. The Mong Kon is a sacred item, often blessed by a fighter's trainer or monk, and symbolizes respect for the gym, the trainer, and Thai culture. It's worn during the ritual dance before the fight starts and removed before the actual fight begins. The ritual is over, and Billy gets ready to fight. Initially, the fight goes well for Billy. He manages to block the opponent's attacks and hits him back hard. But things kind of unravel when Billy is first put into the corner and then suffers a hard blow to the stomach. Despite the injury, he gets up and continues the fight. He manages to get the opponent in the corner and starts strangling him. The round ends, so Billy falls on the ground. The opponent, in the most cowardly manner, kicks Billy on the ground. Billy's trainer is outraged, but the fight is allowed to continue. In the next round, Billy aggressively pushes the opponent in the corner, but he fights back, and they go back and forth. In the end, Billy manages to knock him out with a spinning back elbow. He is the winner. Billy watches the crowd cheering for him, barely able to stand. The injuries were too severe, so Billy passes out and falls. The trainer rushes to save his life. The ambulance delivers Billy to the hospital. When he wakes up in the hospital, he finds himself on the hospital bed, his legs locked in chains. A nurse greets him, and he asks to go to the bathroom. She escorts him to the bathroom as a policeman watches them. But the nurse gets distracted and leaves, so Billy uses her absence to sneak behind the policeman and get inside the elevator. Downstairs, he avoids another policeman at the front entrance and leaves the building when the policeman gets distracted by the arrival of another ambulance. Billy aimlessly walks the streets, reminiscing about the events that led him to this point. He ends up in the poor slums where he walks along the abandoned railway. He stops, realizing that he has nowhere to go. There is nothing in this city for him to do, no future. Billy reconsiders his escape and returns to the hospital. After he is released from the hospital, Billy goes back to prison. One day he is brought by guards to meet a visitor. It's his father. By the way, guys, this movie is based on a true story. Billy Moore is a real person who survived the Thai prison and wrote the book that was adapted into this movie. What's interesting is that Billy's father here is played by none other than Billy Moore himself. An ingenious cameo, if you ask me. Billy and his father smile at each other, happy to finally meet after a very long time. The closing titles reveal that after serving 3 years in Thai prison, Billy Moore was transferred to a UK prison and subsequently released on an amnesty by the King of Thailand in October 2010. Since his release, Billy has devoted his life to working with other addicts and fighting to maintain his own recovery. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.